Hello researchers, welcome to my next research video. Most statistical errors do not occur during analysis. They occur before analysis. Many research scholars focus heavily on learning statistical tests and SPSS commands but neglect the preparation of data. However, even the most advanced statistical technique cannot correct errors caused by poor coding, careless data entry, or unclean data. In this video, we will clearly understand data coding, data entry, and data cleaning with practical research-based examples for each step. These steps ensure that your statistical results are accurate, reliable, and defensible during evaluation. First, what is data coding? Data coding refers to the process of converting responses into numerical form so that they can be analyzed statistically. Statistical software cannot process text responses directly. Therefore, researchers must assign numerical codes to categories. Example 1, gender variable. Suppose you collect gender information for your research study. There are, assume that male, female, third gender. So you may code male as 1, female as 2, third gender as 3. So here the numbers do not represent quantity, they are only labels. Look at the example 2. Likert scale responses. Consider a questionnaire item. Online learning is effective. You give the Likert scale question, there are 5 responses from strongly disagree to strongly agree. So you have a 5 component. So you can give the code like strongly disagree 1, disagree 2, neutral 3, agree 4, strongly agree 5. So this is the example how you should code the categories. So good coding must be logical, consistent across all items, clearly documented. Poor or inconsistent coding can lead to incorrect interpretation and faulty analysis. Got it? Second part of this video is data entry basics. Once data is coded, the next step is data entry. For instance, in SPSS or Excel, data follows a simple structure. Each row represents one respondent. Each column represents one variable. Let us take example of student survey data. We suppose you collected data from 5 students with certain variables. 5 students with variable like gender, age, test score. So here you will assume that it is an imaginary Excel sheet. Student, first on the top you will have student, gender, age, score. In the column you will have student 1, 2, 3, gender, again already you have coded it 1, 2, 3, either what way you have to do that. Age 21, 22 or 20, age 17. The test score probably 50, 80, 90, 100, whatever the thing you have to enter it. This is how you have to enter it. So during data entry, use meaningful variable names like example, gender, age, score. Assign value labels exactly like as 1 or 2. For example, male 1, female 2, third gender 3. And define missing values clearly, very important. Proper data entry reduces confusion and prevents errors during analysis time. Third section of this video is on data cleaning. Data cleaning involves checking and correcting errors in the data set before you start analysis. It ensures that data reflects realistic and accurate information. Example, a data entry error. Suppose a respondent age is entered as, instead of 21, you have entered as 210 years, that is 210 years, because mistakenly you have added 10 after 21. So it will completely become wrong. So this is clearly unrealistic and indicates a data entry mistake. So such values must be verified and corrected. That means after you enter it, you can manually quickly check. For example, as we have coded gender into 1, 2, 3, wherever you have a double digit entry, you can understand that there is error. So you can remove the data error. This way you can do it manual correction, as well as you can do a overall system check also. You can check whether is there any double digit. You can control and find, for example, if it is Excel sheet, see a control F, you can find double digit entry, replace with only single digit. That way also you can do, or manually you can check. Let me give a second example. Inconsistent responses. A respondent select, for example, age is 15. Education level you have given as PhD. Age comes with the number 15. Education level comes with the new, word PhD. Because you should have a number for everything. In the education level, instead of giving PhD, you should have given, for example, undergraduate 1, postgraduate 2, PhD 3. Even you should have coded degree also into certain code, since we are analyzing through the software or the Excel sheet. Everything should be coded. In case if you don't code, you will not be able to process it properly. So you can understand such kind of error and you can correct it, so that once you start the analysis, it will be easy. Otherwise, you can't do that. So this is the systematically, after entering all these data, you should do this check, so that the error can be avoided. The fourth part of this, what we are going to learn, is handling missing values. Missing values occur when respondents do not answer certain questions. Example, you have given 20 questions in a questionnaire. Respondent skipped one question. For example, assume that he skipped question number 12. So when you feed the data in SPSS, this appear as blank or missing entry. This will totally distort the result. That's why deletion, if only 1 or 2 cases are missing, and you can probably manually verify, you can remove it. And mean substitution, that means replacing missing values with average. That is, there is no value it is given there. So based on the others respondent, and you should have acquired some average, you can give that average for the missing value also, so that the result will be reliable. Otherwise, result will become unreliable. So missing values must always be reported transparently in the methodology section. Never ignore missing data silently. At the end, it will totally affect our outcome. The fifth part, we should identify outliers. Okay, what is outlier? Outliers are extreme values that differ substantially from most observation. Let us take the example of income. Income is a variable. Most respondents earn between 20,000 to 40,000 per month. But one respondent reports that he earns 5 lakh in a month. This value may be a genuine high income case, data entry error also. But how will you deduct this? This can be deducted using 3 methods. One is called box plot, jet score, or frequency tables. The decision to retain or remove an outlier must be based on theory and context, not convenience. Please ensure that you should use any of these methods to check whether you can have it or remove it. It is not you decide, let me have it or not to have. No, that will become wrong. The sixth part is data screening before analysis. Before applying statistical test, researcher must screen the data before running a t-test. Assume that. Example, check whether data is normally distributed. Verify that coding is correct. Review descriptive statistics. And after that, data screening acts as a final quality check before analysis. Skipping this step can invalidate otherwise correct statistical test. So it may totally invalidate the result. The seventh part is how to write this in a research paper or a thesis. The examiners or reviewers expect a clear statement on data preparation. Example sentence would be like this: the collected data were coded numerically, entered into SPSS, and screened for missing values and outliers prior to statistical analysis. Always ensure that you add this particular statement in your paper or section thesis. Let me repeat: the collected data were coded numerically, entered into SPSS, and screened for missing values and outliers prior to statistical analysis. It ensures that you followed the data coding, cleaning, and this method properly, so they'll get a credibility. This sentence signals generally methodological rigor, transparency, and research competence. This adds a lot of value to our work. To conclude, clean data is not optional in research. It is the foundation upon which all valid statistical conclusions rest. Before running any statistical test, ensure that data is correctly coded, data is accurately entered, errors, missing values, and outliers are addressed. After that, you run the analysis, then it will be the appropriate result. Clear? I hope you find this video useful. If you find it useful, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and share it to other person. Let them get benefited. And I will meet you in the next important video later. Till then, bye and have a good day.